River Riders is Harpers Ferry's leading recreational outfitter. We offer season passes for tubing, the Aerial Adventure Park, and our Potomac Play Pass, priced for singles, couples, and families. Combine 2 or all 3 season pass options for one great rate for an unlimited amount of summer fun. We are pleased to host your outdoor adventure. Enjoy your trip.
Please pay careful attention to the following video, as it explains many important items for today's trip. At the end of the presentation, please feel free to ask your presenter any questions.
Nature's waterways aren't the same as a water park activity. The river itself is a natural environment with possible downed trees, rocks, powerful current, uneven slippery bottoms, and shorelines. Floating or paddling on a natural flowing river is a risk activity, which can result in injury or even death if done carelessly or recklessly.
Tubing is generally not a guided or assisted activity, and you will be on your own on the river once we drop you off. You should know our phone number, 304-535-2663. Taking your cell phone in a waterproof container is also recommended, although cellular service may not be available in all locations.
The first step toward a safe, fun outing is to wear your life jacket. Your life jacket must fit snugly and be snapped, snug and secure to give the best protection.
Even if you're an excellent swimmer, wearing your life jacket keeps your head above water so you can help others or help retrieve floating gear. Wear shoes to protect your feet. Wear sunblock, even on cloudy days. If you wear glasses, a glass strap may keep them from getting lost.
Drinks in non-breakable containers are important when you're spending time in the sun, and snacks or a lunch will help keep your energy up and help keep you warm on longer outings. While we're on the subject of how to get ready for an outing, let's consider some boaters' choice of beverage. Alcohol. Half of all fatal accidents from small boats involve the use of alcohol. In many states, boating while under the influence of alcohol or drugs can result in fines and other penalties, including jail. More importantly, even a small amount of alcohol can impair your judgment, especially when paddling in the hot sun. Save the party for someplace other than on the river. Remember, everything you take with you is at risk of getting wet or lost. Never leave lengths of rope loose in the boat. You could become tangled during a capsize. And by all means, never tie yourself or any person or pet to your craft.
Because you don't have a paddle, you'll have to paddle with your hands. Cup your hands and turn your back in the direction you want to go. Use a backstroke to paddle your tube. Once you get to wherever you want to be, use one hand or both hands in opposite directions to turn yourself forward so you can see downstream. Start to paddle away from obstacles or to where you want to be as soon as possible. If you find yourself about to run into an obstacle in the river, use your feet like bumpers to push yourself away. If you don't get away from the obstacle in time and run up against it, you may find yourself flipped over and swimming in the river. Lay on your back with your feet up high and in front of you. Grab onto your tube as soon as possible so that it doesn't float away. At the earliest opportunity, pull yourself back onto the tube by grabbing it with both hands and pulling yourself up. If you're in a swift-moving current, you may need to swim with your tube to a calmer place in the river or to shore. Flip over on your stomach and swim aggressively. Once you reach slower current, get out onto the shore or pull yourself back onto your tube.
To swim in current, keep your feet floating at the surface and downstream of you to fend off rocks. Swim to knee-deep water before putting your feet down.
And never try to stand up in water that is deep enough to float you. If your foot gets caught, the water pushes your body over and can hold you underwater. A foot entrapment is extremely dangerous, but can be easily avoided. Swimming over a strainer is an important skill to know. You want to avoid this predicament, but if you find yourself unavoidably swimming towards a strainer, switch from the defensive swimming position to head first and reach up and kick to launch up and over the top of it. A pour-over hydraulic presents another hazard. If a lot of water is going over a rock, the backwash is quite powerful. The water drops down, goes underneath, and some recycles back upstream. This type of feature can stop and hold a boat. The water is moving upstream more than 3 feet. Like in this example, you can get recycled in there if you swim. If you ever are caught swimming in a hydraulic, swim to the sides of the hydraulic where the current is rushing by. Larger vertical drops have a unique swimming technique. The idea is to ball up to avoid the possibility of washing into a foot entrapment.
Know where your other group members are at all times. Stay together with your other group members so you can assist each other. If you become separated from your group, those in front should find a rock or swim to shore to wait for slower members. Those in back should keep floating or paddle with their hands to catch up to the group. Do not leave group members alone. You may need to assist each other. Remember that tubes are inflatable and you must take care not to damage them. If your tube does puncture, you have several options. First is to get on a tube with your friend. This has mixed results, generally depending on size and flexibility. Second is to get out on the side of the river and flag down a driver for another tube. Make sure you're in a location along the road where a driver would be able to see you. Third is to float and hike your way to the end. If you're on the whitewater trip, you should walk around rapids on the shore, but you can float during the calm stretches in between with your life jacket. Regardless, do not leave your tube in the river. Bring it to the end for us to take back from you and dispose of it properly.
Weather can change dramatically throughout the course of an outing. Know the weather forecast. Be prepared for rain or wind.
Stopping under a bridge during a thunderstorm is a good idea if it's available. Storms generally don't last more than 10 or 15 minutes. If you cannot wait under a bridge, stop on the shore of the river in a low spot not directly under large trees until the storm passes, and then continue downstream to your original pickup point. Getting out of the river and walking may lead to you becoming lost or being in an area that we cannot pick you up. Waiting the storm out and continuing downriver to the original pickup point is generally the best option. Make sure you know your pickup times. Arrange them with the driver at the drop-off point. The times are generally determined in advance on weekdays, and pickups will be made every half hour to hour on weekends. Expect to wait on busy days due to volume and traffic. There is a $10 per person per hour fee for pickups after the last scheduled pickup time. Be sure that you know where the takeout is at the end of your trip. If you do not understand where the driver tells you, ask them to repeat themselves until you do. If you miss the takeout, you will have to get out on shore and walk back up to it. We have no way to access the river beyond the takeout points.
Other points to keep in mind: if swimming, a head-first dive can result in severe and permanent spinal injury. Take out any trash that you bring with you. Leave all wildlife you see alone. Be considerate of others on and off the water. That means not trespassing on private land and showing respect to those who are looking for peace and quiet. And please, give anglers plenty of room so you don't interfere with their sport.
Here are some reminders. Wear your life jacket at all times on the river. Do not use alcohol or drugs. Remember that your tubes are inflatable and you need to be careful of sharp or hard objects. Make sure you understand where you are getting out at the end of the trip. Stay together as a group. Wear foot protection. Use an eyeglass strap. Secure loose straps and gear. Do not overestimate your skills and ability. You are responsible for your own actions and decisions, both on and off the water.
This video was designed to give you an overview of what to expect on your trip today. Also, before departing on your trip, please listen to any additional information provided by your presenter. Thanks again and have a great day.